Hey guys, welcome to part two of my reaction to Closer to the Heart and Cinderella Man from Rush. Just listen to both of those songs. That is in part one. We are in part two right now. If you want to see me listening to those songs, link for that is in the description below. Now I have to confess, I have heard Closer to the Heart before. If you've watched the channel regularly, you've probably heard me talk about how my parents used to be into Rush way back when they were putting this stuff out. They still love Rush. But they were just, when this stuff was getting released, they were just hugely into them. And this is one of those songs that kind of stuck. And even during my childhood, I was somewhat familiar with it. My mom really liked this song a lot. And I can see why. It's just beautiful. I think it's one of those songs that anyone can appreciate. I listen to Cinderella Man and I'm listening to the guitar and I'm listening to the groove and I'm listening to all this stuff going on. And from a musician's perspective, I'm kind of geeking out on it. But when I'm listening to Closer to the Heart, there's some of that too, obviously, as there should be. But being it's so short and just, it's a really good song, you guys. I actually really love that. It's been forever since I've heard it, though. I don't think I've ever sat down and just kind of listened to it on my own. And I'm glad I did because, yeah, it's one of those things that it just kind of took me back to my childhood. And it's one of the very, very, very few Rush songs. There's all their radio hits. And then there's like one or two other songs that, like I said, from my childhood, I was kind of familiar with. Cinderella Man, never even heard of, don't recognize the title. Which is an absolute shame because just a really, really cool song. The solo section there, Alex doesn't get super busy in the sense of like fast. But with the crybaby situation going on and the panning from like left to right, and it just kind of feels like it's swirling around you. And that's really cool. And, in the chorus section, it's really like a beautiful melody. And then they have this bit that like picks up and it's like alive all of a sudden. And then it goes back down and it's like really calm and it's just cool. It again is one of those things that I feel like only Rush, don't come at me, I know it's not only Rush, but it's so creative. A lot of people would just kind of play through same thing, no break, no they wouldn't have that in there. And Rush puts it in and it kind of wakes you up and you're like, oh man, okay, they got my attention now. And then it goes back to it. And so everything always resolves. I know I say this about Rush. They like go out of their way to do something unexpected and often pretty technical and different from what the theme like is. Like here, it's this kind of beautiful melody and then it like picks up, but then they always resolve back. So you never feel like something's out of place. They have a way of like working it in so that it fits. It doesn't feel just kind of like shoved in there in an awkward way. Like we're going to do this just because we can. They do it because they can, but they have a way of tying it all together so that it gives a good, enjoyable listening experience, which I love. I'm really, really growing to like that about Rush, like expecting the unexpected, and then it comes and where you could be like, that's sort of interesting. Now I'm like, oh, of course. I should have known that something like that was coming. And the groove on that song too, the bass and the drums and some of the timing and stuff was just awesome. It's songs like that make me so glad I'm kind of just going through because, you got 5 or however many songs that play on the radio that everyone's kind of familiar with. Even if you've never listened to them, you're kind of familiar with them, right? Tom Sawyer, Limelight, couple others and stuff, but these ones you kind of you got to be intentional about finding them. And this sort of stuff's the reason that I'm like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to just keep on plowing through, you guys. So coming up, we have a song you guys have been asking for, and I'm really excited about it. So thank you guys for being here for the journey. Ton of fun. Leave other comments, suggestions, for songs and stuff below. I'd love to branch out a little more, do more stuff. Rush is fun. It's consistent in the sense of it's like I always have material, but I don't mind throwing in the kind of odd, different thing. And I've done that before with like Nightwish and stuff like that. So leave me those comments below, you guys. All right, that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Please like this video if you would, and if you have not already, but if you've made it this far, you probably have subscribed. So please do that. Thank you guys. See you next time.